Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl, and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 111, I think. Yes, pretty sure it's 111. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. There are two dolphin off in this direction who are jumping completely out of the water. It's almost like a SeaWorld show. But they're pretty far out there, so I don't think I could chase them down to show you. Hopefully they come a little closer, but they're out in that vicinity if anybody wants to keep their eyes peeled. But good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. If you are crafting with anything this morning, please let me know what you're working on. I'd love to hear about it. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, the two dolphins that were jumping, you could see both their nose and their tail completely out of the water at the same time, and both jumping like that, but completely out of the water. Y'all know I get so incredibly excited about them when I see them, so I'm hoping I get to share that with you this morning. I suppose time will tell. But anyway, someone's working on a baby dress. That's great. Wonderful. Good morning, everybody. TGI Friday. Happy Friday. A baby blanket with Tunisian crochet entrelac stitch. That's great. I did a beret in entrelac Tunisian crochet many years ago for Interweave Crochet magazine. Good morning from Australia. I see a lot of people here from the US. Crocheting a shawl, good idea, Connie. Good morning, Anna Maria. Or maybe she's saying she's got to go, I can't tell. It goes by so fast. I'm a lot slower at reading other languages than I am reading English. And it goes by so fast I can barely catch up in English. Oh, thank you, Ona. Good to see you. Hi, Edna. So we're here in Southwest Florida, waiting on the sun to rise. It's just peeking up over the buildings and the trees in the east. This is the Gulf of Mexico behind me, where I'm hoping to capture those crazy dolphins for you here this morning. Just before I started the broadcast, there were two of them just jumping like crazy over there, where those birds are. So we'll see if they come this way. Hopefully. That would be nice. Be a nice little Friday treat to see a couple dolphin today. No pressure, guys. It is a pretty day, Faye. Cebu wants to know if I have a baby dress tutorial. No, I do not. I have a baby cocoon pattern. I have baby booties, couple baby hats, couple baby blankets, but I don't have baby outfits yet. I should work on that. Sherry's working on the Fine Midsummer Garden Crescent Shawl. That's a fun one. I'm also a little freaked out this morning, by the way. Because of red tide, we have an extraordinary amount of dead fish along the shoreline here this morning, but some of them are sea snakes, and for those of you that are not aware, I am incredibly, irrationally afraid of snakes. So even seeing dead snake fish is freaking me out. Oh, Sarah, I'm glad you pointed out my hair. Today I did another Pinterest attempt at a braided updo for the wedding I'm attending next month. And today is a Pinterest fail because the back of my hair looks so bad, but I thought I'd keep it because I want to share with you guys the journey of finding the right updo, because not only do I have to find something that I can manage with my skills, which are not humongous at doing braids or updos, and the type of hair I have. So I found a Pinterest idea last night of taking 4 sections of hair, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, and just braiding them from here down, and then somehow wrapping them around each other and make this humongous, messy, gorgeous bun. Well, I guess you have to have 10 times as much hair as I do to make it so beautiful in the back. So I'll show you. I took all 4 of those braids and individually wrapped them around each other. And you can see it turned into a whole lot of nothing in the back. But learned a couple of things from it. First of all, a lot more product might have helped to make the braids bigger so that there was more volume to wrap around. But I love how these two sections turned out. So by sectioning the two front pieces and loosely braiding them in this direction instead of this direction like I normally do, I think this might be pretty for an actual bun in the back. So I might keep working on this one and also keep looking for other ones. The other style that I'd really like to figure out is the one where they do, but it doesn't look good, Faye, is where they braid from here up and then do the bun on top. But I can't wrap my head around that one. It turns out like a disaster. So that's, so I'm at attempt 2 now for wedding braid updo hair and have not found the right one yet. I am planning on doing some crochet beads and flowers on hair clips. You know those hairpins that I bought for the large flowers that I did last month? Well, I want to do some tiny flowers and kind of pin them in my braids like I did, not like I did, like Fanny Brice did in Funny Girl, the movie. Does anybody remember that movie with Barbara Streisand? There's a scene when she's going to meet Nikki Arnstein in the train car, and as she's talking to her assistant and convincing herself to go or not go, she was pinning these beautiful teeny tiny flower pins into her updo, and I would really like to do that. Yes, Donna and Sarah, practice. That's why I'm going to practice every day until I get the right one. I just know that an outdoor wedding in May, in the heat and the humidity. Did you see the dolphin? Are they closer? If they're closer, I'll stop talking and rush over there to show you. You know I don't mind doing that. Thank you, Sarah. Well, I'm certainly trying, and I thought it'd be fun to show you guys that when you're trying to learn something new, you fail at first, but you learn from your failures and you keep moving on and you keep focusing on the goal. Okay, so over there, I'm guessing you saw the dolphin? Let me know if that's correct, Audrey. And that's where they were coming from, so if they're coming this way, okay, I'll try to be patient and wait for you to... Oh, other side. You saw him over here? Oh, yeah, I see him. He's eating fish. I'm going to turn the camera around so we can look at it together. There we go. He's not far. Well, I just watched him toss a fish up in the air. You see him? He just threw fish. He's playing with his dinner. Naughty boy. He tossed it in the air again. I hope you guys can see. Did you see him toss it? Oh, slow down, buddy. I can't keep up with you. I left all my stuff back there. Oh, well. Okay, don't know where he went now. Oh, he's moving on. Don't know if we'll be able to keep up with him, but that's okay. I hope everybody got to see him playing with his food. Oh, he's turning towards us maybe. Edna, Barbara Streisand's your favorite too, huh? Funny Girl is one of my favorite movies of all time. There he is. He is coming towards shore. Morning. There's a dolphin playing with fish out there. Oh, you saw good. Okay, where are you, buddy? He's right here somewhere. Oh, no, there he is, a little further. Oh, shoot. Wow, how funny. I wasn't even afraid of all the dead snakefish as I got excited about the dolphin. See, that just goes to show you that fears are phobias and not rational. Okay, well that might be all the show. Yes, Ona, that's right, it's from Red Tide. Sorry, I thought I mentioned that earlier. We have red tide right now, and it's, gosh, it's been going on well over a month now. And unfortunately, it kills a lot of the sea life. Very sad. Okay, I think that's all we're gonna see. So I'll turn the camera around so you guys can see the water as I walk back. I'd like to find a type of a tripod. Red tide is where there's an unnaturally high level of algae blooming in the water, and it kills the fish and just damages the ecosystem in general. I'm not entirely sure what causes it. There's a lot of theories about it, but I don't have a definitive answer for you. I just know that it occurs every now and then. Probably has something to do with pollution, but don't know for sure. So I'd love to be able to take everybody for walks on the beach, but I haven't figured out the right type of tripod, because me holding this tripod puts me way too close in the camera and also is too jiggly. So if I could find like a hands-free something or other, I think it'd be really fun to take everybody for a walk on the beach every now and then. It's like we're going for a walk together. Wouldn't that be fun? And then explore everything we find. It's a great way to go search for. Oh! See, it's one of those stupid snakes. See that? That's what I'm so afraid of right now. And I know it's completely irrational. I know it is. But it scares the daylights out of me. You know when you get scared and you can't and you get freaked out? I just looked at my shoes and freaked out again. That's so silly. Yeah, now that I screamed, I'm probably going to be really jittery for a while. No, they're not water moccasins, I don't think. I think water moccasins are black and much larger than that. Oh, Jenny, you started my recipe for probiotic cream cheese last night. That's great. I'm glad I make you laugh. I don't try to fake anything on here. So I think if you can't laugh at yourself, then what can you do, right? I have no problem with that. Oh, my heart's racing. Okay, a little more tea. So, tea. Today I'm drinking green tea with elderflower, and it's a tea that somebody sent me. It's an immunity green tea that has elderflower and echinacea in it, and I added some hibiscus tea to it, and some fresh lemon juice. I wanted the benefits of the green tea, the color of the hibiscus tea, and a good shot of lemon juice to start my day. No, I don't eat breakfast first. I start with hot beverages in the morning. I don't eat until I come back from yarn on the beach. I prefer to start with hot beverages in the morning, or maybe water first and then hot beverages, but whether it's coffee or tea or even hot water with lemon, it's just the way I love to start my day. I try, Donna. I'm not healthy 100% of the time. I do believe it's important to have, not cheat so much, as just allow yourself to have your cravings so that you don't end up wanting to binge them. It's raining in Philadelphia. Well, I hope you're indoors and dry and warm. And hopefully all that rain is going to make the flowers bloom soon. What kind of flowers do you have in Philadelphia that you love? I know when I lived in Michigan, my favorite was lilacs. Those were so nice and smelled amazing. Here we have a ton of different flowers in Southwest Florida. It's very tropical here. The one we don't have is lilacs, which I loved in the north. Honeysuckle is nice too, but as far as sweet smelling flowers, we have gardenia, which is amazing. We have jasmine, which is amazing. Oh, night blooming jasmine is one of the most amazing things ever. Gardenia is pretty awesome too. And then we have lots of beautiful flowers that don't smell great but are just gorgeous to look at, like hibiscus and orchids, bougainvillea. Oh, look at that. I thought I was getting attacked by a snake again. It's so crazy. man. Oh, Ona's got jasmine blooming right now. Oh yes, Sherry, I launched the Be So Fresh yarn yesterday, which is my 100% linen yarn. It is so gorgeous. Comes in 3 colors, Night, which is the dark saturated black, Sand Dollar, which is the color of this beautiful sand here, and then Foam, which I named after the foam that we see here at the beach, so it's just like a creamy white. Linda, I go live at 7:45 in the morning Eastern Time, and we're 15 minutes into the broadcast right now. The linen yarn, Be So Fresh yarn, is sport weight, 300 yards to 4 ounces, comes available in a center pull ball, and well, it comes in a hank, but I wind all of the yarn at no additional charge. So if you're looking for patterns right away, anything that's done in a sport weight linen yarn, it would be an easy substitution. But even any of my sport weight patterns on my website now for either Be So Sporty or Be So Serene yarn, those would also be good substitutions. And I have new patterns coming soon. Linen is amazing for market bags, so any of my Be So Bare or Be So Serene market bags would be a great fit. Linen is wonderful for summer tops, wonderful for skirts and dresses, in lace, wonderful for all sorts of home deck. It's just beautiful, and the more you wear it and the more you use it, the softer it gets. It is, no, it's not like bamboo at all, Ona. It's totally different than bamboo. Bamboo has a sheen to it. It's very shiny and silky. Linen is extremely matte. It's more matte than cotton, and definitely a rougher feel at first. But have you ever felt like linen clothes? Are you familiar with buying like a linen shirt, like a woven shirt? You know, it has that crunchiness to it at first, but as you wear it, it just relaxes and ends up having a drape to it. It's the same thing with linen yarn. It's totally different than bamboo. I mean, both beautiful, but both beautiful in different ways. It does not stretch. It is very, very strong. Very strong. I've done a market bag. I wonder if I don't have it. I've done market bags with linen yarn, and it makes the most sturdy handles. Even if you just wanted to use it for handles, it makes extremely sturdy work. It's one of the strongest fibers in the world. It also has a beautiful story to it. It's one of the oldest fibers in the world, and yes, Ona, it's great. It's something that makes amazing heirlooms because it just will last for so long. But totally different, which is why I thought it was a fun yarn to add, because it just doesn't compete with bamboo or cotton. It's something you just do for other things, or just for a different look or a different feel. They are actually very different. So I am still working on a cardigan in the yarn. It's almost done, but here's a sample of crochet motifs done in the bamboo yarn. And that's not washed yet, and it's already softening out just from using it, and it will just continue to get softer and softer with wear. This is the Sand Dollar color. So beautiful. Somebody mentioned that the 3 colors would be pretty together. Yes. I would love, love, love to do a skirt or a sundress in motifs with the 3 colors together. I think it would be stunning, absolutely stunning. Like do night for the center, a foam for the middle, and sand for the outside, or change up the motif so that they go in one color direction on one and then one color direction for the other. It would be gorgeous. Or you did 2 centers in 2 of the colors and then did the 3rd color for all the outsides of it. Hopefully that makes sense. When I talk from my brain, and I mean, I see pictures in my head. No, it's not an ombre, but you could, you know, there's ways that you could make something look like an ombre, right? So if you start solid in one color and then alternate your stitches with another color and do that for a little bit and then switch to that 2nd color, then alternate stitches with that 3rd color and switch to that one. There are ways to do it, or by even doubling your yarn. If you double your yarn, you can do 2 colors of A, then 1 color of A and B, then two colors of B, or 2 strands of B, then 1 strand each of B and C, and then 2 strands of C. Oh, let's say that again. So sorry. So it's AA, AB, if you're doubling your yarn, 2 strands of A, AA, AB, BB, BC, CC, then CA, then AA. Can you see what I'm saying? So that if you do 2 strands, and you can do this in Be So Fine yarn too, you can do it in Sporty, you can do it in any of my yarns. Maybe we should do some patterns like that, because I think that ombre is really beautiful, but I also think that you can do it yourself. You don't have to find a yarn that necessarily ombres. You can absolutely do it yourself by changing the color yourself. And so whether you change stitches, Ruthie, they're in a pile that needs to be blocked. I know, isn't that awful? Including, so I've got a pile of things that need to be blocked and woven in ends. I've got a pile of things that need to be photographed. I even have a pile of things that were supposed to come here to yarn on the beach this morning. Shame, shame. Not really. I figure the dolphins wanted me to forget my stuff so that we could watch them instead. So the tutorial that I was going to start for you this morning, give you a sneak peek of anyway, and then promise to do it when I remember to bring the shawl. So I loaned some of the sample garments from Motif Magic, my brand new book, to a friend, and also the tech editor, Robin Chichula. She was going to do 2 shows last month. She did one at, I think, Interweave Yarn Fest, and the other one in Philadelphia, which I was invited to go to this year, but just couldn't make it. She did 2 shows, and she took books, she took some of my yarns, and I loaned her some of the sample garments for her to put on display for selling the yarn and the books. And one of them that she borrowed was the Brooklyn shawl. And so the box arrived yesterday, and I pulled out the sample garments, planned to wear the Brooklyn shawl this morning over my maxi dress, and even brought some yarn. I brought some Be So Sporty yarn to do the sample. I was going to show you how to crochet the first motif, this one here, that is at the top, that is at the top of the shawl here. So this shawl starts with working a first motif, then joining these rows from the motif, then making the next set of motifs and joining them to the shawl as you go, then picking up and working this band of stitches, and then making these motifs one at a time, but joining them as you go to the existing shawl and the motif next to it. So I was going to show you how to do the first motif this morning. Is that showing up on camera? But I forgot the shawl, so I think it might be fun just to wait until next week. We'll do it next week. And then I would also love to hear from anybody of which projects you would like to see in tutorial format next. So for those of you who are not familiar, I've already done a video series on the Elena shawl, which is crochet, and I've already done a video series on the Marissa shawl, which is all knit. So you can watch those on my YouTube channel now. Let's see, could I possibly have remembered those shawls? No, they're in that same pile. They're on that same pile with Brooklyn, because I meant to bring them for the same reason. I did bring the Morgana shawl with me this morning though. Isn't that pretty? So this is one that is a free pattern with, and you can get it at Eucaland's website. Eucaland is the company that makes Wrapture All Natural Delicate Wash. They make other scents as well, but that's the one that I collaborated with them on. So you can download the pattern on their website after signing up for their newsletter. And turns out everybody at my knitting club, Knitting and Crochet Club, has asked to do this as a crochet along. So next week I'm going to bring this down to the beach and bring all the colors of Tidbits with me and show you how much fun these colors are to mix and match together. You wouldn't believe how many of the colors look pretty together. So this one, for example, is done in Calypso Lime, Lavender's First Romance, and Caribbean Turquoise. Vimala is asking if my yarn is good for sensitive skin. Depends on what kind of sensitivities you have. All of my yarns, except for one, are plant-based, so if you have wool allergies, all of my yarns would be good for you. If you have other types of allergies, I would need to know about that before speaking any further on it though. But in general, I think a lot of people find that my yarns are good for sensitive skin. Jenny, well, you just have to keep working at it, that's all. So this, don't worry, I will tell you a lot more information about this crochet along next week, because did that help, Vimala? I want to make sure that I answer your question enough. So next week I'm going to show you a lot more information about the crochet along for this, and we will all be able to make them together, which is going to be so much fun, and I'll be able to share everybody's photos and you can see what other colors everyone picks. I think it's going to be a really fun community project. We're going to start around June 1st or so. So I will, but I'll have more information next week. If you wanted to purchase your yarn for it now, it is 1 tidbit each of 3 different colors, or it would be the equivalent of doing 1 ball of Be So Fine yarn, or if you wanted to make it bigger, which a couple of the ladies at Knitting Club were already interested in, is doing Be So Sporty yarn in 1 color and making it a 1 color shawl, but making it a little bit bigger with a bigger yarn, which I think that's a great idea too. Of course, I have to try to come up with another idea as I'm doing everything. I don't seem to ever like to do something the same twice. So, you gotta see. Yeah, you can buy this on my website, definitely. So what I was thinking is, you know, because I got to try to always challenge myself, make sure there's no snakes behind me, and I freaked out at a leaf. That's great. So this one I'm thinking about making into a top by making 2 of them. And let's see, where would I? Thinking about to join at the shoulder here, and then join at the wrist here. Does that make sense? Because I'd like it to be a cold shoulder top, and then it would just be open along the bottom. So it's going to be like a poncho slash top, but I need two entire shawls done to be able to do that. But I wish I could figure out how to make this stay. Let's see, if I put it on my finger, put it on my thumb. I want to be able to demonstrate to you how amazing this would look as a cold shoulder top. Look at that. Can you imagine if it was pinned, secured at my shoulder, secured at my wrist, and then the rest of the sleeve would be open? Wouldn't that be gorgeous, right? So in order to do that, I'm thinking about doing that in Be So Serene yarn, which is my organic cotton sport weight, because I would like to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm thinking about doing 2 of this shawl in sport weight on an H hook instead of the F that this one does for Be So Fine yarn, and possibly not needing to go the full length of the shawl then, because depending on how much longer the rows are, going with a looser gauge, I want to see how long the top could be, and I would really like to do this in 1 color, 2 shawls, and sew them at the shoulder and at the wrist. So hopefully I can get that done in time to show you another option before we launch the crochet along. Sarah, I can't remember if you knit also, but I do have a knit pattern for a cold shoulder top. It's called Tempestra, I think. I have a beautiful knit top pattern on my website that is a cold shoulder top. And it has a beautiful detail in the neck, but if you don't like this and you just like the cold shoulder, just do 2 backs. Just do the back, do 2 of the backs instead of a back and a front, and do the cold shoulder. Hey, Sarah, I think you might like that one a lot. It's a beautiful pattern for Be So Sporty yarn. It's just gorgeous, but being sport weight, you could do it in Be So Fresh linen yarn now, or you could do it in Be So Serene organic cotton as well. However, when you are substituting yarns of different fibers, substituting yarns, period, but especially with different fibers. I don't know what you mean by trial pack. You have to explain that to me. Oh, maybe you mean the Serene Sampler Kit. Yes, I don't have that one in stock right now. So, back to substituting yarn. Oh, gosh, I got afraid of snakes again. This is crazy. Okay. Oh, there's one right behind me, no wonder. Anyway, you want to make sure that you not only make a gauge swatch, but that you wash and block a gauge swatch and make sure that it's the right gauge, especially for garments and especially for substituting, because how yarn is affected by water is big. It's important, and every fiber reacts to water differently. Every yarn is affected by water differently, and your personal attention might be different with different yarns, especially depending on how experienced you are with different yarns. So you know what, Jebby? Or sorry, Janelle, I can't recognize that it's you. I can't move anywhere. I had to walk for a good quarter of a mile to even find a spot that was remotely safe for me. There are dead sea snakes all along the beach, dead big fish, dead little fish. It was almost impossible to even find a spot at all. So this was the best spot I could find, and I'm still freaked out. But hey, I'm doing the best I can. Beatrice has bad weather. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, be careful. Janelle, I don't remember this being so bad at the beach before. Do you remember this over here? Do you get red tide on your coast? Janelle's my friend from this area who has now moved to the other side of Florida. And I don't know if she gets red tide over there, maybe. This is nasty though. And sad. I hate seeing so much suffering. Anyway, we're almost... Janelle, it's worse than I ever saw. This is the worst red tide I've seen. It's been going on a couple months, but today is by far the worst day I've seen. I'm guessing they sweep the beach daily. They must, because there are days that are better than others, and it would smell so bad otherwise. But today's a sad day. Red tide is when the algae blooms too much out in the water and it overpowers the fish and they suffocate. Very sad. Okay, but we are out. Sarah, the Tempesta is the name of the cold shoulder pattern. We're out of time, so let us take one last minute here to look out on that gorgeous view. Really beautiful colors this morning. Very much reminds me of Moonstone colorway in Be So Fine yarn. But let's look out on the water, enjoy this beautiful natural palette of colors, listen to the sound of those waves for one more minute, and set our intentions for the day. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Friday to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, the color palette, the sound of the waves, the dolphin show. That was really cool today. Really sweet and cute. Acted like little kids playing with their food. So adorable. Hope you enjoyed talking with me and everybody else here. Have a great weekend if you don't join me tomorrow, but I will be back here for our 6th day of the week on Saturday. I only take Sundays off from Yarn on the Beach, so if you want to join me tomorrow too, please feel welcome. If not, have a wonderful weekend. Make sure that you follow the links in the video description to find me on other forms of social media and find links to where you can shop for my products and find all of my patterns, tutorials, and videos. Let us make time, create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!